Hey Hammers fans, before we get started, make sure to drop a like, leave your comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any West Ham news. As Graham Potter's team struggles to find stability on the pitch, the pressure off it grows week by week. In the upcoming clashes against Tottenham and Brentford, the spotlight will not only be on the pitch, but also in the stands. Supporters are mobilizing to protest, demanding the immediate departure of David Sullivan and Daniel Kretinsky, the current owners of the club. This scenario becomes even more symbolic because the London derby against Spurs will be broadcast worldwide, and beyond the cameras covering the game, there will also be huge attention focused on the directors' boxes in the stadium. It is there, in the heart of the VIP area, that the true battle for the future of West Ham could take place. To understand the scale of this potential deal, it is necessary to talk about Amanda Staveley. She is no ordinary figure in football. She was a key player in Sheikh Mansour's purchase of Manchester City and also in the Newcastle United takeover by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, a process that took years to complete. After selling her stake in Newcastle, Staveley began putting together a new consortium to invest in another Premier League club. At first, the main target was Tottenham Hotspur, entering what some call the post-Daniel Levy era after the departure of the executive who had run the club for 25 years. But Spurs announced they were not for sale, rejecting not only interest from PCP, but also from a Chinese consortium. That refusal opened a window of opportunity, and it is precisely there that West Ham enters the picture. The situation is complex. According to journalists like Sky Sports' Kavi Solikol, this interest does not mean PCP has abandoned Tottenham. On the contrary, the group may return in the future, but this leaves West Ham with extremely limited time to seize the opportunity and attract investors. And why does it matter? Because on paper, Tottenham is currently a more attractive club. Bigger profits, a world-class modern stadium, and an excellent training center. Yet on the other hand, West Ham has a lower initial cost and enormous growth. Potential, something that could tempt a group used to transforming projects. Meanwhile, within the club itself, dissenting voices have already spoken out. Karen Brady, West Ham's vice chair, recently declared that the current owners do not intend to sell. But that statement came before the announcement of the new protests. The first on a large scale since 2018, popular pressure may alter the course and force Sullivan and Kretinsky to rethink their position. It is impossible to talk about West Ham's future without mentioning its supporters. Historically passionate and loud, the Claret and Blue faithful feel that the current owners lack a long-term project. Since winning the Conference League in maybe 2023, the club seems stagnant with poor Premier League campaigns and a string of questionable decisions in the transfer market. Now, with protests scheduled, the fans want to show they will no longer accept excuses. They see in PCP's possible interest a chance for change, for rebuilding the club's identity, and even for competing at higher levels in England and Europe. But there is one detail that makes it all even tenser, the time factor. If West Ham does not act quickly, Amanda Staveley may simply redirect her consortium's interest back to Tottenham, or even to another club that is more receptive. Should that happen, the train may pass, leaving West Ham stuck in the same cycle of crisis and instability. Solikol reinforces that these processes take years to be finalized. That was the case at Newcastle. Therefore, it is not merely about signing papers, but about months of negotiations, financial analysis, and political conversations. The problem is that PCP has already made it clear that Tottenham remains a preferred target, even if not right now. This very detail increases the suspense. West Ham faces a dilemma: either seize this rare opportunity or risk seeing investors simply shift their focus to another project. It would not be the first time this has happened in English football. Other clubs have had potential buyers at their doorstep and let them slip away. In the end, they were left behind with no resources and no prospects. The supporters know this, and for that reason, the protests are not just against the current board. They are also a warning cry, a way of saying the club needs a vision for the future leadership capable of projecting West Ham onto a different level. It is not only about selling or not selling, it is about deciding whether the club wants to remain a bystander or fight among the protagonists. If we look at Newcastle, for instance, we can see the impact of a well-structured takeover. In just a few years, the club went from battling relegation to competing in the Champions League. And this only happened because a group of investors arrived determined to transform the institution. The parallel is inevitable, and West Ham supporters see in Amanda Staveley the chance to experience a similar revolution. Time, however, is cruel. The longer the owners resist, the smaller the chance of any deal being completed. And if Amanda decides to turn her attention back to Tottenham or even to another Premier League club, West Ham will once again be left with nothing but promises and uncertainty. In the end, the club finds itself at a rare and historic crossroads. Supporter dissatisfaction is rising, protests are returning strongly, and a heavyweight international consortium is eyeing the team. But only for a short while. The Hammers' future may be decided not only on the pitch, but in the corporate backrooms, where alliances, figures, and strategic decisions shape the destiny of century-old institutions. The big question is, will Sullivan and Kretinsky take advantage of this short window and negotiate, or will they resist until the last minute, even against the will of the supporters? Meanwhile, Amanda Staveley watches ready to take the next step in her journey as one of the most influential figures behind the scenes of English football. And the supporters, as always, remain in the most important role of all, pressing, demanding, and dreaming of a bigger, more competitive, and more ambitious West Ham. Because in the end, without the voice of the stands, no real change ever happens. Before we carry on, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And this is really important because it strengthens the Claret and Blue family, making our West Ham bigger and stronger every day. Surprisingly enough, West Ham are deep in talks to re-sign Polish goalkeeper Łukasz Fabianski, who may make a swift comeback to the club only a few months after bidding farewell. The veteran keeper left the London Stadium at the end of last season, departing as a free agent after 7 years defending the Hammers' goal. This potential return emerges at a crucial moment. The club recently lost West Fotheringham, who sealed a permanent move to Aris Limassol in Cyprus. His exit trimmed Graham Potter's goalkeeping choices down to just two dependable figures, French international Alphonse Areola and Danish newcomer Mads Hermansen, brought in from Leicester during the summer transfer window. Fabianski, still unattached since leaving West Ham, continues to demonstrate the quality to compete at the highest level despite turning 40. His track record with the Hammers is significant: 216 official appearances since arriving from Swansea in 2018, playing pivotal roles across multiple campaigns. Even last season, age did not stop him from making 14 Premier League appearances, contributing to the team's safety in the division with a 14th place finish. He was also part of one of the club's proudest recent milestones, lifting the conference league trophy in 2023, West Ham's first European silverware in decades. Across his Premier League career with Arsenal, Swansea, and West Ham, the Polish keeper has recorded 97 clean sheets in 376 matches. The hunt for another goalkeeper has grown urgent in recent weeks. Hermansen, though a promising acquisition, endured a rough start, conceding 8 goals in his first 2 league outings, sparking concerns behind the scenes. At one stage, West Ham explored a loan for Andre Onana from Manchester United. Negotiations advanced, but chairman David Sullivan stepped back after watching the Cameroonian's costly errors in United's League Cup defeat to 4th-tier Grimsby. Consequently, Onana is now expected to head on loan to Turkish side Trabzonspor, after being told by manager Ruben Amorim that he would likely be only third choice this season. Meanwhile, Manchester United moved to sign Belgian goalkeeper Senne Lamens before the transfer deadline, reinforcing their squad. West Ham also reignited interest in John Victor Botafogo's goalkeeper. Early in the window, an agreement with the Brazilian side was close, but the Hammers shifted focus and secured Hermansen instead. However, with doubts about the Danes' early displays, they returned late to pursue John again. The keeper ultimately chose Nottingham Forest, derailing West Ham. Ham's hopes. This succession of missed opportunities has piled pressure on the board, and on Potter, who is already under scrutiny due to the team's shaky start to the season. In this context, Fabianski's possible comeback would resonate beyond the pitch. For many supporters, it would signal stability, continuity, and respect for the club's recent history. Thus, Fabianski resurfaced as a steady and trustworthy option for Potter. With vast Premier League experience and a strong bond with the club, the Polish shot stopper represents more than just a quick fix. He offers the chance to close out his career at the place where he became a fan favorite. A reunion would carry dual significance: practical reinforcement in a key position and an emotional boost, rekindling the connection between the team and its fans. And that's all for today's West Ham news. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with fellow fans, and of course subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, you Irons!